everybody.
That was such a pause.
I was so confused. It's like, Ola?
I can do our intro in a different language.
You can. You can. Well, if you're going to, then
We've already started.
Oh, well, fine. Okay.
Save it for next week.
Oh, so I can't say jumbo to all the people out there? Hoodie.
Anyway, welcome everybody to this week's episode of Soaps and Sass. This is the 21st episode, and we will be covering the week of May 26th to the 30th, and this is GH edition.
Excellent. It is.
Yes, and this week's recap will be fairly short, as there's only been 2 main storylines happening.
Okay, but before we get to that, would you like to introduce yourself?
They know who I am.
Huh. Well, I'm not going to assume they know me. I'm Mama Sass.
And just to, ease the anger off of her, I am Baby Sass.
I'm not angry. I'm just giving you a side eye.
Yeah, not a basic one though.
That's like, yeah, sure. Most people know you, but maybe we have new listeners this week.
Fair enough.
Okay.
Fair enough.
All right. Give us a recap, Baby Sass.
All right. So, as I said, this week is going to be a very short recap just because there's only the main 2 storylines. Being the custody between Michael and Willow, and the adoption storyline that is Gio and his family. We also had, I would say, one other side storyline, which was Crazy Christina. So I'll just start there because it was really, really brief. Christina and Lucky meet with Alexis to talk about the accident and just go over prevention matters, whatever. She wants the full story and Lucky's side of the story, as she has a general idea of Christina's. Overall, Alexis is like, there shouldn't be too much of an issue, but overall, just keep y'all mouth shut, and we'll be fine. Christina wants to do something to try or at least help turn Ava and Rick against each other, as that's what Alexis was saying would be a good idea, other than getting Christina committed. So we'll see how that goes. But Alexis is like, no, we are not doing anything. I'm going to try and turn them against each other. You are going to sit by and do nothing, or you're going to turn yourself in to protect your sister. That's your only 2 options. And that was that. Again, there was also Laura meeting up with Elizabeth and just having a little discussion about Lucky and what he might do, as, Laura wants Elizabeth and Lucky to be together, but Lucky's not one to usually stick around very long, and Elizabeth's afraid, and there was all that, but no one really cared about that. Like I said, our main 2 storylines were custody and adoption. Unfortunately, we did not get as much as I would hope, as we were preempted on Monday. Were we? I feel like we lost an episode on Monday.
I think we did.
Yes, we lost an episode on Monday. I
think it was Memorial Day in the U.S.
We lost an episode on Monday, which was quite unfortunate. And I almost thought we had lost an episode on Friday, but it just turned out our PVR did not record the episode for unknown reasons, which was really upsetting. But we managed to watch it. Anyway, like I was saying, custody. So Michael's leaving the nurses' ball with Wiley, and ends up going back to Carly's. Wait, am I on the right week?
Yeah, you are.
Okay, sorry. For some reason, I didn't think I was on the right week. Yes, Michael leaves with Wiley and goes to Carly's, where Amelia's at. Sasha is watching Amelia, and they have a brief talk, Sasha and Michael, about Sasha's baby, and the fact that he's still gonna keep his word and stay out of the baby's life, and let Sasha raise the baby on her own. Willow and Drew race over the PCPD to file a kidnapping report. Mac, which I love Mac, is like, who got kidnapped? And they're like, Amelia. And he's asking for details of what happened. And they're literally, Willow and Drew are leaving out the most important piece of information, which is that Michael is back.
Well, to be fair.
They're doing it on purpose, and they're like, Jason kidnapped her.
To be fair, Drew was doing that.
Willow was following the lead.
So Willow stood by very silent until the end, and then she's actually started giving proper details, and Drew was looking at her like, girl, did you not understand what I was trying to do over here?
No, because...
But go on.
Anyway, leaving out crucial information until finally, or the main point that Michael told Jason to get Amelia, and Mac is like, so what I'm hearing is the kids are with their father. In that case, it's not a kidnapping, which I will discuss later. But I think that's different circumstances. Anyway, Mac ends up going over to Carly's to check on the kids, to check on the allegations of kidnapping, and Michael, I assume, hands him a paper stating he has a court order of temporary custody, and so he was allowed to take the kids. Carly and Josh show up later. They hug Michael. Carly and Michael talk a bit about how he came back early, how he knew about the court hearing, and he tells Carly that she did the right thing in asking Diane to proceed with the divorce hearing and the custody. So we'll see the fallout or the whole mess of that on Monday, as the court date was set for June 2nd. So we're going to get that on Monday. Nina then meets with Maxie, and they start talking about what happened and how Nina needs to get Willow away from Drew, but the only way she can do that is to come out and tell the truth. And Maxie's like, I don't think that's a good idea. I think you should hold off on that. Nina's like, I don't think there's any other way. Possibly she's made up her mind to tell Willow the truth. We don't know. In other news on that front, Maxie inadvertently kind of sort of gives Nina details involving Sasha and the father of her baby. And Nina puts the pieces together and clues in that Michael might be the father of the baby. So after Maxie leaves, Nina proceeds to go to the bar and ask the bartender if he recognized Sasha. And he's like, yes. Gives a little too many details on how he feels about Sasha. But tells like, yes, I remember Sasha. She was here. She pays him a little money because she wants details, but he's like, I don't give out that personal information, or that was so long ago. And then she asks, was this the guy who was with Sasha? Proceeds to show him a picture of Jason, and he's like, no, I recognize Jason. It wasn't him. She then proceeds to show him a photo of Michael, and the bartender freely says, oh yeah, they were here. They were drunk. They left together. Which gives Nina the confirmation and the whole likelihood that Michael's the father of Sasha's baby. Later that night, after everyone has pretty much left Carly, save for the people who live with Carly, Willow shows up because she wants to get the kids after Mac has informed them that he's got temporary custody. There ain't nothing I can do. So she goes over to Carly's gated community, and she's gonna go confront Michael, and Drew's like, I'm gonna go with you, and she's like, no, you're gonna make the situation worse. Stay here. Which I think is a good thing, because, no manipulation. She proceeds to walk up to the door. Before she can even knock, Michael opens the door, so he knew she was coming.
Maybe Carly has security cameras that work.
Or a guard's like, hey, so, like... Because, again, gated community. So, if there's a guard around, guard must have informed, and it's like, hey, so-and-so is here. Be on guard. So, anyway, Michael opens the door, and Willow is like, please, Michael, don't do this. Don't take away my kids. And he's like, it's too late for that. She's like, can I come in and give them a kiss? She's like, no. They're asleep already. Michael tells her, I'm doing what's best for my kids. I'm seeking full custody. And she's like, you can't do that. And Michael tells her, it's like, you want to know the two things Wiley asked me while I was away? The two questions he asked me every time we video chatted? When am I coming home? And when can we go home? Mm-hmm. So basically Michael's telling Willow, is like, you moved my kids out of their home to live with your lover. You didn't ask them what they wanted. You didn't ask them what they need. You didn't ask them any questions. And they don't consider that home. They want to go home. Ever since this whole debacle has happened, you've been making dumb choice after dumb choice after dumb choice, and it ends now. So we're not doing this. And Willow's again like, please do not take my kids. And Michael's like, okay, under one condition, you leave Drew. And she's like, what? She's like, honestly, Willow, it comes down to this choice. It comes down to who do you love more, your kids or the man? So pick. And I hope you make the right choice because it's going to cost you a lot if you don't pick the right one. Anyway, Willow's upset. Michael goes in the house. Willow goes back to Drew, tells Drew what happened. And in the end, she takes off her wedding ring, finally, but explains that the reason she didn't take it off in all these months was because she didn't want the kids asking questions and getting confused. Anyway, she's like, she takes them off. She says, I'll mail them to him Michael, the rings in the morning. Drew says, that's fine, but we're keeping Lila's ring, and hopefully one day we can give it to Amelia. I'm like, Anyway, that's the end of the custody, aside from the fact that Nina fills in Ava of her discovery and whether or not to tell Willow, which she says she doesn't believe she's going to do because that's not going to do any good. And when Rick comes in later to check on her and discuss things about the trial, she's like, I'm not sure about what I'm going to say, which leads Rick to ask, do you have new information? Which, honestly, Nina, I'm like, you should have kept your mouth shut on that one. So that's the custody. Gio ends up going back to the Quartermains after the nurses' ball. So this is all, so I would say all of this is happening day of nurses' ball and the day after. So at this point, it's still the night of the nurses' ball. Gio's at the queues packing his bag. Emma finds him and they're leaving until they run into Tracy, in which Gio says to Tracy, see, you know how you love reminding me that I'm not a Quartermain? Well, the joke's on you, or really both of us, because I am a Quartermain. I'm your great-great-grandson. Sorry, I'm your great-grandson. And Tracy's like, oh, it's been you this entire time. Anyway, Tracy stalls as much as possible to keep Gio in the house, and she informs Brooklyn that Gio's at the house, so Brooklyn can have time to go over and talk to Gio for a little bit. While Tracy is stalling and telling him things about his family, Brooklyn is having it out with her mom and asks for her to tell her the truth about everything, and Brooklyn is devastated. Dante shows up and finally gets the truth from Brooklyn. Brooklyn, again, is furious with Lois. Her heart is breaking, as it should be, but, Brooklyn tells Lois stay away from her and Gio and, all of that. Brooklyn and Dante race over to the Quartermains to speak with Gio as much as possible. Gio is like, I'm not dealing with this. I can't deal with you. Dante tries to stop him, and Gio's like, don't you touch me. It's like, you guys didn't even want me. And Brooklyn's like, no, Dante didn't even know. And Gio's like, what's your excuse? She's like, I loved you. I wasn't ready for you. I thought about you every day and just, you never left my mind. It wasn't easy. I was a kid. I wasn't ready to raise a kid. And again, it's not that I didn't want you. I wasn't ready for you. Which you can see for Gio, it's hard for him to hear, but he's still upset. He's rightfully upset. He's going through an identity crisis. And in the end, he leaves. He just can't. So he and Emma run off to, I call it the sketchy bridge, because sketchy things happen at this bridge. And they're there. They're talking for a little bit. And then they end up going out of town to God knows where. Probably Beecher's Corners, if anything. I don't know. And they stay at this motel, cabin-esque place where they talk a little bit more. And Gio decides, you know what? I need answers. There's no more running. The only way I'm going to get answers is if I go back. So they decide to go back to Port Charles to confront the family, or to confront the people who have been lying to him all his life. After all that's happened, or before I should say, finally Dante and Brooklyn have a little bit more time to talk about everything, and Brooklyn gives a little bit more explanation. Unfortunately, I'm like, she doesn't say what ultimately the thing that really I feel she should have said, because Dante did say something about, I would have stepped up if Brooklyn had told him, and I'm like, and that was Brooklyn's perfect chance to say it, and that's one of the main reasons I didn't tell you, was because I knew you would, and I didn't want that for either of us. I didn't want to be a mom. I wasn't ready to be a mom. No, I wasn't ready. I wasn't ready to be a mom. And if you had stepped up, you would have put me in that position that I didn't want to be in. Anyway, because she had said that earlier to Chase or Lois or whoever, and I was like, tell that to Dante. And personally for me, that was a perfect chance. Anyway, so Chase comes running in and it's like, oh, thank God you're okay. How's everything? In which Dante's like, oh, so you clearly knew. So he asked Brooklyn who else knew. And she's like, Chase, my mom, my grandma, and kind of has this look on her face about to tell him Lulu also knew, but we don't see her tell him that until he pops up at Lulu's house, confronts her, yells at her, basically tells her, you should have left everything alone. You just constantly were trying to get one up on Brooklyn. Brooklyn didn't know, and Lulu saying, of course she knew, she lied to you, whatever, just not hearing. And Dante's like, did you do this? Did you do all this thinking I would be grateful and get back together with you? And Lulu's like, that thought never crossed my mind. She's completely insulted that Dante would insinuate that or even think that. So in that moment, she makes it very clear. She says, I didn't think about that, and I don't want to get back together with you. I don't ever want to get back together with you, which I think is a complete and total bold-ass lie. But she was angry in the moment that Dante was angry at her in the moment, which she had no right to be angry in the moment. Anyway, there was something else. Right, Cody and Lulu also have an earlier talk. Again, Lulu is just solely focused on the fact that the truth is out, where Cody's actually thinking and feels bad that he's done all this damage. Cody later talks to Sasha about it, and he realizes, well, yes, he made a mistake. He also realizes that his situation and Gio's situation are totally different, and he feels bad. And he recognizes that he can't just go around doing things because he wants to or he feels that people need to know. He needs to just keep his mouth shut. Then, as I also forgot to mention, Lois gets reamed out by Ned. Lois gets reamed out by Liv. I think Liv was the worst confrontation that Lois had, aside from Brooklyn. Especially because Liv has gone through what Brooklyn did. We're almost done here, folks. Ned ended up going back to the Quartermain house, talking with Brooklyn, getting a better understanding. Then Brooklyn talks to Liv, and Liv is like, don't you dare apologize. As if there's anyone who understands what you went through, it's me. So don't you ever apologize for making your choice. And they hug and everything like that. Ned talks to Tracy. Tracy tells him, I knew, but only for like about a month. But I also pretty much have a good idea of who let the secret out. And I believe it was Lulu. So that confrontation is going to happen later. Sunny also talks to Lois. Sunny, out of everyone who she's talked to, is the more understanding of everyone. And, as she said, or as Lois said to Sunny, it's like, we didn't even know at the time that Gio was born that Dante was your son. So it was like, how can we tell you about Gio if we didn't know about Dante and yada yada yada. But me asking you to help with Gio's financial and education and all that stuff, that was me giving you a way to have a relationship with your grandson without actually telling you he's your grandson, and Sunny is very appreciative of that. Then later, the next day, after people have kind of had time to sit but are still upset, of course, Brooklyn is on the phone with Anna. Anna is telling Brooklyn that Emma is with Gio. She does not know where they are, but they know that they are together and they're safe. Lois comes in to talk to Brooklyn a bit more. Again, Brooklyn reams Lois out. Then Gloria shows up to defend her mother. Gloria shows up to defend her daughter. There we go. And that, ladies and gentlemen, is our recap.
All right. Great job.
I love how I say it's going to be short, and then I come and see it's like almost 15, 20 minutes.
Well, yeah. That's all good. It's all good. What had you hot about this week?
What had me hot this week is the flippin' babysitter who was watching Amelia. Because, again, still at the nurse's ball, Michael has left with Wiley. Jason has stopped Drew and Willow from following Michael. And then Willow gets a phone call, and it's the babysitter. And the babysitter is telling her that Amelia was taken. Jason showed up at the house, took Amelia, and left. And Willow's freaking out. And I'm just there like, Jason is here in front of the woman. Meaning, Jason had time to pick up Amelia. Sorry. Jason had time to pick up Sasha, pick up Amelia, drop them off at Carly's, and then head to the Metro Court. And again...
Well, the pick up Sasha had nothing to do with it, really.
Well, he was at the PCBD, so he had time to do all of this and then make it there.
Right, but the babysitter's not going to call until the child is picked up, so the fact that he picked up Sasha has nothing to do with anything.
Either way. I'm like, either way. Point is, Port Charles is not a small town, as small as they make it seem to be, that everyone is able to get to places so quickly.
They call it Teleport Charles.
The point is...
She's not having it. Okay.
The point is, this is not a small town or city or whatever. Yeah. The point is, it's not small. It's not a small location. So, how this woman is babysitting this child. The child gets taken and I guess is just in shock and dazed for, I would say, probably like 20 minutes, half an hour before calling the mother, baffles my mind. Because the child was already gone. It's not like she picked up her phone as Jason is at the door walking into the house, or at least Sasha, I guess. Sasha's walking in the house to get Amelia so Amelia doesn't freak out. And she's not on the phone being like, Jason and the quartermain cook are here and they're trying to take your kid. I'm trying to stop them, but it's not working. Like, you know, rather than doing that, when it's the process of happening, she waits till after the child is gone.
I'm sorry.
After the child has been taken.
I'm so sorry.
That babysitter, she's getting fired. That babysitter not coming back. If Willow gets full custody, you're not hiring that babysitter again. As someone who's babysat for people, if someone tried to take up the child that I am watching, I'm not waiting till the child is gone halfway across whatever city we're in, and then be like, yeah, your child was taken about, I don't know, 20 minutes, half an hour ago.
Listen.
Yeah.
The babysitter was so glad she got it early at night. She went home, got in her pajamas, poured her coffee, and I was like, oh, I should let them know I'm not still at the house.
Like, one, the parents are going to sue you for not letting, like, for...
Sue.
Either way, they're going to do something because it's like, how you let the child go, so whatever. Oh, my God.
I'm sorry. I'm just over here cackling because... And I'm going to rebaptize from Uncle Sass to Uncle Logic, because he's not sassy. He just always hits with the logic, and I can hear him very clearly. Again, with the real world logic in a soap opera. That's what Uncle Logic is saying. That's his new name, Uncle Logic.
I can't because
I can see that. I'm getting burned by the steam coming off of your head.
The second that scene happened, my britches were burned.
Well, that's exactly what you said. You said, oh, she now forgot how to use a phone? It was rotary dial.
No, she must have
numbers have all lines.
No, she must have picked up the house phone and didn't know how to use it. She must have picked up the landline. And
That's what I'm saying. Rotary dial landline.
It's like, how does this... It's not touchscreen. How do I...
That's what I'm saying.
Where's the...
You can't have a rotary dial on a cell phone as far as I know. It's got to be a landline.
Either way... The second I ever saw that, like, I swear to God, if the babysitter was still at the house when they got back, for whatever reason, like, I don't know why you would still be there, maybe in case, like, they managed to get the child back or whatever.
You don't have a key to lock up.
Right. But it's like, if the babysitter were still there, I'd look at her and be like, no, you're fired. No, you're fired. Don't you ever come back? I'm not recommending you to anyone. I'm cutting your pay because you got my child kidnapped. Like, no. I'm like, I also recognize that when it comes to babysitting, it's not like they have a course for babysitters. I didn't take a course for babysitting. The only course I took in terms of babysitting was first aid, and that was in elementary.
Well, okay.
Or high school, or whatever. Mm-hmm. But they don't teach you what to do as a babysitter. The point is, it's like you watch the kids, you play with the kids, you feed the kids if you need to feed the kids, you bathe the kids if you need to bathe the kids. Other than that, you're chilling. Like, the job to be a babysitter, unless you have some real just kids who are a handful, the job of being a babysitter is fairly easy. Just don't get the kids killed. Don't get the kids kidnapped. Just
Get the kids killed.
don't get the kids kidnapped. Don't lose the kids. Watch the kids. And if something happens, call the parents. Don't sit and wait until the last minute. Because, see, it makes me think of Pilar. It makes me think of Pilar. Donna or Avery, one of the two went missing. Mm-hmm. Pilar did not. Avery went missing, and really, she went off to have ice cream or hot chocolate with Austin. Mm-hmm. But nobody knew that. Pilar didn't waste a second. The second she realized Avery was gone, she picked up the phone, called the police, called the parents, and said, "I'm so sorry. I don't know where she went. I got a phone call from my mother or whoever about whatever family issue. I must have turned my back for like 2 seconds. I'm so sorry." And Sunny and Ava, I think she was a little rough, but I think was playing along just for the need because of the whole blackmail thing with Austin. I don't remember. But other than that, Sunny was like, "Pilar, it's okay. I understand. It was a total accident. It's like, it was a total mishap. I thank you for calling me and the police." But like, Sunny was so understanding on that. This babysitter, stupid. So stupid. I think I just spent 7 minutes ranting. Let's move on.
Yeah. You mentioned this in your recap. What had me hot? I mean, there's so many things this week that had me hot, but this one you mentioned specifically, Tiff and Drew.
The wedding ring?
The wedding ring.
Okay.
It's like, oh, this was my grandmother Lila, so I have as much right to it as anybody else.
No.
I don't think so.
Because I'm like, Lila gave that ring to somebody. And must have been,
was it Tracy? I think Tracy might have.
She left it to somebody, and then gave it to Michael to
or
give
Monica,
to Willow.
maybe.
Somebody.
Maybe Monica gave it to Michael.
So you say you have claim to that. Just wait. Somebody's gonna sue you for that.
Indeed. Which ties in just to so many categories because, like you said, there was only really 2 storylines over the course of the week. But still with the ring, and I'm gonna jump over to the make it make sense. Willow says she didn't take off her ring because she didn't want to confuse the kids.
I agree. That doesn't make sense.
Do you think the kids are looking at your ring as opposed to you sucking face with Drew every minute and living in the house and you're sleeping in the same bed with him like you used to do with their father? You think they're going to completely not pay any attention to that, but the ring on your finger is going to cause confusion?
Kids are smart.
Kids are smart. That's what I'm like. Why are you worried about the ring?
And that's why I'm like, especially when Wiley said to Michael, "When can we go home?"
Exactly.
I'm like, Wiley knew that place was not his home. They moved there because Willow made the decision for them. But had you asked the kids, like, how would you feel about moving in with Uncle Drew? They could have been like, "Oh yeah, that'd be nice," or how would you feel if we lived with Uncle Drew and Willow or Scout for a while? Like, you still need to get the kids' opinions. Yeah, sure, they love Drew. Sure, at least get their sense. So it's like, okay, they're keen on the idea. So if we did move in, there wouldn't really be any issues compared to like you introduce them to a random man who they don't really know. And they're like, I don't... And you still do it.
Yeah, I don't know what getting their opinion. I mean, Wiley's all of what, 6, 7, 8, maybe?
I get Amelia really want to understand, seeing as how she is.
Although I get the it's weird. I get the impression that Wiley and James are the same age. But James is a lot more savvy than Wiley.
Yeah, but also
Wiley just seems cool. Like, James would have been like... The same way when Lulu showed up and he's like, "I'm telling you there was somebody in this house."
Right, but we also recognize that James is definitely older than Wiley by like a year or 2. They might be close in age, but James is definitely older than Wiley. That's what I said,
about the same age, but there just seems to be a big...
I agree. Wiley might be 6, maybe 7.
Yeah.
But James is definitely like 8, 9.
But in any case, again, real life to fictional. But this is the thing, so asking his opinion, I'm not asking, if I want to move house, I'm not asking your opinion as a child. But I do think I would have been aware that you wanted to go home. As a parent, I think I would have known that. That would not have caught me by surprise.
No. And I guess it's not really their opinion, but just like how they would feel about it.
Yeah, and just keep checking the pulse and
exactly
and what have you. So I don't know. That really hurt my heart when Michael said every time we talk, he wants to know when we're going home. And yeah, the whole situation is heartbreaking.
It really is.
It is.
But also going back to what you were saying about, not taking the ring off to confuse the kids. It's like, I've been saying this from time. It's like, how do you still have your wedding rings on?
Yes, you have.
It's like, your marriage is over, at least from her perspective. And now she's really saying like, no, our marriage is over. There's no reconciling compared to before where it's like, there's the possibility.
Yeah.
But it's like, why do you still like... Sure, you could have taken off the rings, and I, in my opinion, could have done what you used to do, whereas you'd wear them on a necklace. So it's like you're not actively wearing them, but you still have them. So she could have done that. So it's like she recognizes her marriage is over or possibly over, so she takes them off, but she still wears them around her neck because she's like, still have them close by. Should anything happen? Because I'm like, just for me, if you know your marriage is over and you're seeing someone but you're still wearing your wedding rings, I'm like, that's just a slap in the face to the two people who are now affected by this. One, the person you're still married to, and two, the person you're dating. It's like, to each their own in their own situations, but at least have some respect for the people. If you're saying you're fully committed to the person you're dating and you're no longer committed to your husband or your wife, take off your ring.
Agreed.
Give it back to them. I don't care, but take off your ring. God forbid, I would never do this. But if I was in Willow's situation and I know my marriage to my husband is over, I'm dating someone else, I'm not gonna wear my ring all the time. I'm not gonna wear my ring anymore because again, slap in the face to my husband who, even though we're still married, our marriage is over. And the fact that I'm constantly reminding my partner is like, yeah, I'm still married. It's like, no! So have some respect, Willow.
Yes. Okay, since we're talking about make it make sense, I'm going to continue with what I feel is two-faced Olivia.
All right.
When she was talking to Lois,
yes,
or quarreling with Lois as the case may be, she was saying to Lois, as were many people, was this Brooklyn's decision or did you make Brooklyn think it was her decision? And one of the things that Olivia was saying is, I went through the same thing. Brooklyn could have been a mother. We would have helped her raise Gio. She wouldn't have been alone in all of this.
Right.
And to me, she was telling Olivia that Lois, that she didn't think that Brooklyn had made the right decision in giving up Gio. Which
then proceeds to say to Brooklyn, you made the right decision later.
Yeah, exactly. If anybody understands what you went through, it's me. And she didn't need to apologize. Well, which is it? Are you angry that she gave up the child and you didn't know them, or
are you angry that your best friend possibly manipulated her daughter into giving up the baby and not telling you?
And I suppose it could be both. I suppose that they don't have to be mutually exclusive. Like Olivia did not have any say in the matter, but Dante didn't know either. So if Brooklyn chose not to tell Dante, why would Olivia know? The whole thing is so complex and so fascinating.
Which to me is also the same thing in line with Tracy, because Tracy's saying, it was your decision and yada yada yada, but then proceeds to be like, did you manipulate her into making the decision? She should have kept the baby because we're here and yada yada yada. And it's like, wow, y'all just. Wow.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Everybody's saying that to Lois.
Even Ned.
Yes,
everybody. Because I would have supported her decision, but still Quartermain. It's like
Lois had a comeback, boy.
I loved her comeback. It's like that might be true, or the Quartermains would have used the baby as another bargaining chip.
Yep.
And it's like,
yeah, that's my make it sassy for the week.
Oof. And the other thing that I like is, in terms of Two-Faced Olivia, she was talking about decisions about Brooklyn and the baby and helping them out and yada yada yada. And then Lois turns around and is like, really? Because you didn't tell Sonny that Dante was his kid?
I said the same
thing. So it's like you must be seeing everything in your glass house.
I said the same thing. I think maybe last week when Olivia was upset. It's like, you didn't tell Sonny.
It's like, don't when you're living in a glass house, don't be throwing no stones.
So, absolutely.
And the fact that Olivia was mad that Lois called it out is like, sure you're mad, but she's speaking the truth.
And maybe that the fact that Lois did call that out is what changed her mind by the time she spoke to
probably, because it's like,
maybe
you can't say this about her not telling Dante and giving the baby up for adoption when you did not tell Dante and Sonny about each other until Dante got shot.
Yep.
So
absolutely.
Oh, this is my make it make sense. Everybody is telling Lois, even Brooklyn, that Lois should have said something when Camilla died to Gio about his parents not being his parents. And it's like, no. Y'all need to stop and think. Lois is right in this case. Y'all need to think. I get you're angry, but the logic that Lois is spitting is actually logicking. Because how is it a child who has known one person to be their parent, or at least been told for 12 years that these people are their parents, loved, raised, everything by this person, adore this person, the person suddenly dies, and you're telling them they should be like, oh, no. I'm sorry your heart is hurting, but she wasn't your mother. He wasn't your father. They're right there grieving just as much as you are. The boy's already grieving, and you're going to give him you want to give him an identity crisis at the age of 12? It's already bad enough that he's 20, like he's getting it at 22, and he's barely able to wrap his head around it now. But to do it when his mother's just been put in the ground, that is no.
Agreed. I absolutely agree with you. And because can you imagine?
That is a level of trauma that no kid could handle.
Exactly as you said. He's just lost his mother. He's upset, and then everything that he's experiencing now, he's experiencing on top of that back then? No. Although, he didn't know all the quartermains back then, but he knew the Cerullos.
And the Falconeries.
Excuse me.
But it's like, you want to tell the kid who's known this person to be his mother his entire life, sorry, kiddo, that wasn't your mama. Your mom was right over there.
Yeah.
No. And as Brooklyn is like, I was an adult then. It's like, yeah, you were. But you were... As Lois said, just like, you were making your stride through the music career, doing all of this and all of that, and
that's where Lois lost me.
And it's like, you want me to throw a kid on top of that for you?
That's where Lois lost me. I was good up until then, because at that point she's an adult, and then she can make the choices. Yes, she's got her career going, and Brooklyn may well have decided, you know what? I have been very fortunate. I've known Gio all his life. I know my son. I can see he's thriving. I can see he's well cared for. And I already decided not to insert myself in his life.
Right.
I can go on. Or she could have chosen a different way to handle it.
Right.
Right? Just because Brooklyn knew at that point in time didn't mean that Gio would necessarily have to know.
Right.
So I don't agree with Lois as, you would not have the life you would not have had the life that you have if I had told you back then.
Which I think is entirely possible, because like different choices lead to different endings.
Exactly. But I don't think she had a right to make that choice again at that point.
Right. But overall, everyone needs
for a penny and for a pound, I suppose.
Right. But my overall thing is, everyone needs to shut up and stop telling Lois that she should have told when Gio's mom died. That is no.
Yep. I agree.
No.
I think at this point I want to jump into the heart pull of the week. And I don't know if there's any one moment, because this whole storyline just all week had me boo-hooing. Sometimes harder than others. Like, watching Gio try to come to terms with it, watching Lois, Brooklyn. I still think GH waited too long to show up for May sweeps.
For real.
But they delivered. Golly, did they deliver.
One thing that I do find interesting, and something that that Gio actually brought up, and I wish had been brought up when Dante confronted Lulu, but Gio had said to Emma, because Emma was going on, it's like, these people love you, they care about you, it's like, you know how they feel about you, it's like, especially Brooklyn and Dante, and he's like, Brooklyn, maybe, Dante, he does not care about me as proven by, like, he didn't know I was his son, and when Rocco was in trouble, he told me how he felt about me, and he didn't know I was his kid. So I know how Dante really feels. So I don't want a relationship with Dante.
I agree. I think Dante is the one I feel the least sympathy for in this scenario.
For real.
Like, okay, so you showed your temper.
Yep.
You showed your dirty side.
Right.
Like, you didn't want to listen to reason.
Nope. Everyone is telling you that Gio had nothing to do with it. He didn't even know, and you're still blaming Gio. And
then for him to just suddenly, 180. Wait, that's my son. Oh my goodness, I love him. Like da 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 da. No, that's
not how it works.
What happened last week?
That's not how it works.
No,
because Gio had said something about that. Yeah. It's like, just because I know they're my family, and now it's like I was getting messages from people I didn't know, and now that they know I'm family, now they're reaching out or whatever. It's like, that's not how that works.
Yeah, because I didn't have their numbers in my phone. Well,
right, it's like, it's not how that works. It's like, we don't get an instant bond. We don't have an instant relationship just because you now know I'm family.
No, agreed. But I think on the flip side as well, this is, and hopefully Gio comes to realize this, is they didn't know you were family. What's the relationship you had when they thought you were just...
Right.
Because you've been living in their house all the while, right? You have known Olivia your entire life. You have known Brooklyn your entire life.
And this is why...
right? Lois aside.
Yeah. Lois and Gloria inside.
Right? But the people who did not know that you were related, how did they treat you? How did they love you?
Right.
I mean, okay, because you're family, I can see how that bond would change, but the foundation is there. They weren't treating you any kind of way because.
Right.
The same way Dante. It's not now that he's your father, all of a sudden, you could try that, Dante, but I surely know I'd be like, bun fire upon you.
And I'm like, and see, and if I was Emma, I would say, look at it from this perspective in this case. Barring Quartermaines and Cerullo's aside, look at your relationship with Rocco. You don't know that, you didn't know Rocco was your brother. You didn't know, you just knew that Rocco was a good kid and you looked out for him. You love him. You care about him. Now that you know he's your brother, is your relationship gonna change with Rocco? And let Gio answer it from there. It's like, exactly.
And I think she's kind of started with that, right?
With Camilla.
Exactly.
Yes.
He's like, well, she's not my mother. And she was like, hold on a minute. Hold up just a second and check yourself, little boy or young man, right? It's like, you know the relationship you had. You know the love you had. Why does that change just because there was no blood tie? Right,
and even as she said, it's like, Gio had said, it's like, the minute she found out she was pregnant with me, air quotes on pregnant, because she wasn't actually, it's like, I saved her, I was her miracle. And Emma's like, and that was her truth. Absolutely. She just lost her husband, and then she finds out about you, and you brought her back from a dark place. Yeah, you are her miracle. You did save her. That is Absolutely. Her truth. That doesn't change. Exactly. So, which is why I think which is why I like how he came to the conclusion of, I need to stop running and I need to get answers.
Yeah, agreed.
Which I'm hoping, like, he says he needs to get answers, and I'm hoping he goes. He can still be mad. He can still be frustrated. He's entitled to the feelings. I just hope he goes with more of an open mind.
Yeah, and I'm wondering if he's not going to start with Tracy. Yeah, so I hope he goes and talks to Tracy first, because she was so kind with him when she would, like, just the wonder on her face. First of all, it's like, oh, you're my great grandson, and then wait before you go, and then explaining who's who in the family and what they represented and so on. I thought that was just lovely. So hopefully he starts with her, because I think they've always had a good relationship, and she has not minced words with him. She's always been very straight. So I hope he starts with her, and then possibly Brooklyn. You know, I can see why he would wait. I can see why he would wait before talking to Brooklyn.
I can also see why he would go to Brooklyn directly first, because she knows more obviously than anyone else. Yeah. Like, maybe Lois, but I think he's just so mad at Lois right now that he ain't gonna
talk to Lois for now, right? Because it's clear that she knew. So if the biggest perpetrator of the lie, I think he's very clear, is Lois. So that's why I think maybe he'll go to Brooklyn, but just because I really like the way they've been softening Tracy over the years since she's come back. Mm-hmm. She still has her hard-nosed side, but when she's doing family and affection, it's really something to see. I really, 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 really like it.
It really is.
And so,
one thing I'm looking forward to is just, we've already gotten Dante's side of things, but I am just waiting for everyone to everyone else. So Brooklyn, Tracy, maybe Chase. I don't know if Chase would, but just them reaming out Lulu.
I don't want them to give Lulu another thought. She has had too much say in this, and I don't think she deserves to know. I think she needs to stand on the outside and witness the impact. I don't think she deserves to have another word said to her, really and truly.
In fairness, we all know that's not going to happen, especially in Brooklyn's case. Maxie.
Oh, really? I genuinely don't. I mean, okay, maybe they will have a confrontation, but I think it's going to be that Lulu steps to Brooklyn. I don't think Brooklyn's going to go looking for Lulu. I think Tracy's going to find Lulu first. Tracy and or Ned. Mm. And that's going to be fun to watch. Mm. That's going to be really, really interesting. I don't know if Tracy's going to thank her.
I'm curious to see what Max is going to do.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Maxie will finally understand what the beef was between the two women. Mm-hmm. Yeah, Dante was a little over the top for me.
Oh, that's...
With Lulu, but...
I realized that's the other thing I didn't really mention. But, because Brooklyn... Because Dante had said to Lulu, it's like because of you... like my relationship with Gio is whatever, and I really had wished Lou said, no, that's on you for what you said when Rocco was in the hospital.
I thought that's where she was going.
Me too, honestly. And she didn't, and it's just like, that could have given him a reality check, and he could have been like, ooh, I forgot about that. Or just like, and just have him just shut his mouth. Like, he was like, he'd be like,
maybe more effective coming directly from Gio. Because I don't think he clued in when Gio reacted. I don't think he clued into why Gio reacted the way he did. So there's that, or maybe Emma will tell him.
I don't think Emma should.
I
think Emma should just be there and just... Honestly, I think I was going to be there, just be pretty and not speak. But no, I think Emma should just be there as moral support and for Gio. And that's like, just be there to talk. But anything else involving the family, she shouldn't say...
Yeah. One thing that really surprised me was just a very quick blip was Anna calling Emma and asking when she's coming home. And it's like, Anna, you were there. You saw what happened and you know where Emma is. Why would you call her to ask when she's coming home? Her friend is, in a difficult situation. Why would you expect her to pick up and come straight home? And she's grown. So, what?
I think it's probably because Anna's still on the you've been doing shadiness.
Maybe, but Anna's usually more savvy than that. So that I didn't like it. It threw me off a little. But yeah, there's just so much. I was rooting for Beyond the Gates to win Emmys this year, the daytime Emmys, but GH stepped up in a real way. So now I just want to make sure and see the Emmys so I can root. But anyway.
We kind of skipped over it, but do you have a comedy moment of the week?
I skipped over it on purpose.
Oh, okay.
But no, I think mine was the same as yours.
Okay. So overall comedy moment of the week, Michael is just walking out of the Metro Court with Wiley. Wiley is looking back over his shoulder.
This is at the nurse's ball.
At the nurse's ball. Willow races out of the ballroom because she's like, my man is leaving with my child. What to France? And Wiley's just like, bye, mommy. All happy and excited and not a care in the world. He don't know what's happening, just that he's going home with his dad.
Yep. I thought that was fantastic.
Cute. Just like a child in his innocent world.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely. I don't think I have there wasn't much to find funny this week. There really wasn't, other than that. I can't think of any.
Okay.
Yeah, for the Delulu of the week, it's just as previous weeks, Lulu. Everything Lulu.
Right. One thing I do like It also made me curious because I was like, where is Rocco? I'm like, I guess staying at his grandmother's or something because I don't think he's at a Quartermain's. But I do like how Dante's like, I'm coming by in the morning to talk to Rocco and I will be the one to tell him about his brother, not you.
Absolutely.
You've done enough.
Absolutely. Lulu, and you mentioned this, I'm pretty sure you mentioned this in the recap. Lulu is so busy trying to, I don't even know if it's cover her behind, but I mean, okay. I think we all agree she did not intend for things to play out the way they did.
Oh, for sure.
But then, but she's trying to rationalize, like the ends justify the means, and it's like Lulu,
which is like it was just pretty much what I said in the recap. It's
right.
like Cody is so focused on like
we made a mistake.
We made a mistake. It's like I was so focused on my experience. And compared the two and said they were similar when they're really not. Mm-hmm. And Lulu's just like, but isn't it a good thing that the truth is out now? I mean, Dante now knows he has a son. And it's like,
yeah.
But the lives you destroyed.
This is it. And Cody is very clear. Like, the repercussions are way bigger than we ever anticipated. That ripple effect was... It's like,
that we ever anticipated, you did not anticipate them. That's the thing. You did not anticipate them.
That's true. And you know what that's known as in the industry? Or at least my industry where Mama Sass lives, not necessarily the industry I actually work in.
Happy path planning.
You've heard me say it before. Hey, come with it, baby Sass.
And I like how Cody later, when he's talking with Sasha, acknowledges that. It's like, that was a mistake. I wasn't thinking. I was like, why did I side with Lulu? Why did I just immediately be like, yes, let's go, rather than tell her, you know what, none of your business, probably should drop it like everyone else. And I like how Sasha was like, you were trying to do what you thought was right.
Lulu, but it wasn't.
You were trying to be there for Gio. You wanted Gio to know the truth, but you just didn't, think it all the way through.
Agreed.
But your intentions compared to Lulu were more
altruistic.
Yeah, because as Dante said, it's like you really were just being petty. You really were like you're justifying as the truth kept like based off what my experience and not having Charlotte and missing out on all those years. Like when it came to Charlotte, you missed out on what 5 years of her life. So it was like you weren't there for when she was a baby, which I get are the golden years and for parents and stuff like that. But here's the thing. Like, I get each child is different. You want to be there for each one. But you missed out on, like, very little of her life for the first part. And then you missed out on 4 years of her life. So I guess in combined, you missed out on, like, half her life, which is fair. But your experience with Charlotte is completely different with Dante's experience with Gio, because even though knowingly or unknowingly he missed out on 22 years of his life, he was there for his life. He watched Gio grow up. He watched him have a loving family. He was around. I don't know if he babysat Gio like Brooklyn did, but he was a part of Gio's life for roughly 12 years or more, depending on how long he was there, compared to you with Charlotte. So your experiences are totally different. You can't compare your experience with Charlotte to his experience with Gio, since he was there for Gio.
Yeah, absolutely.
And that's part of your justification. That's part of your reasoning. But it was still you being petty because Brooklyn was keeping a secret that was not your secret to tell. That was not your secret to confront other people about and have it blow up in the way that it did.
Yeah, see, and that's kind of interesting. It's interesting because, again, I think there's the double standard, the two-facedness, what have you, and it maybe further thought. Maybe there's nothing two-faced about it. Maybe it's just, oh, you know what, that actually makes sense, and I'm just changing my mind. But Dante seemed angry with Chase when he found out that Chase knew, and it was like, well, I'm your best friend, and you didn't think to tell me? As opposed to Lulu, why did you think it was your place to tell me? Because it was none of your business, and... and maybe it's because of the motivations, because I don't think Lulu fully understood her motives, and I think Dante nailed a lot of them. Exactly as you said, she was being petty. She wanted to one-up Brooklyn. She wanted, everybody to see Brooklyn as the villain that Lulu sees her. I think many of those are true. And I think Lulu's deluding herself, speaking of the Lulu of the week.
Girl needs therapy.
In thinking something else.
You need to talk to Kevin.
Right? But Kevin too busy over on Beyond the Gates. The Delulu or Lulu as Delulu of the week is very closely followed by Willow.
Oh,
Willow is out her mind as well. Michael was like, break up with Drew. She was like,
she was ready to do it.
Well, because the one drum that Willow has been beating all along is I can't lose my kids. Now it's a very real possibility. So she was like, yeah, okay, my kids. And then Drew's like, do 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 do, and she like, okay, Drew, we can do this together.
It's like,
what in the?
It's like, ma'am, clearly you don't.
I don't know what David Blaine show she was out, or Chris Angel.
I will say this.
I don't know how she's so hypnotized by this man.
I will say this. She loves her kids. I will not dispute that. She loves her kids fiercely. But clearly not enough if she's allowing herself to get manipulated and second guess the decision to, you know, pick a man over her kids.
So many women do it.
Because I'm like, Willow, men come and go. Your children?
Yeah.
You can't replace your children. You can replace a man.
Again, factoring in, you know, real life experiences or what have you. That Dawn of Day thing with the cult, I think that messed with her head so bad. And I don't know that she sought professional help afterwards.
I don't believe she did. And I wasn't there for that.
I don't know. I think Shiloh did a number on this girl in a way, like, because I'm sorry, I'm going to be a little bit crass. You cannot tell me Drew's sugar stick is that kind of sweet.
Ugh.
You cannot. So what is it? What is it that has you? Don't care. You're like, this is the way to go. This makes sense. This is what I need to do. Hey, baby. Oh, you know what? You're right. What?
Seriously, because like as we've been seeing from time, the second Willow is not near Drew, sense comes to her.
That's what I'm saying.
I'm sorry. I'm gonna use what the Nigerians say. Wisdom is chasing her, but she faster.
For real.
When Drew's not around, Wisdom manages to catch up and touch her for a brief second. The second Drew comes, he's taking a baton and whacking Wisdom's hands and get off this woman. I need to manipulate.
I don't understand. So I hope she figures that out.
I'm hoping
I do.
Unfortunately, it's going to take the trial for her to figure it out.
I think it's going to take more than that. I think it's going to take more than that. But listen, it's making for an interesting storyline. I'm here for it. Absolutely. Okay. So
we've done what had me hot. We've done what you do that for, I believe. Yeah, yes, we did.
I mean, I'm just looking at the time. Might as well just jump right into hero and villain of the week.
Yep. Okay, so...
Well, villain of the week, I think we can just cover that. Lulu.
Andrew.
Sure.
Mm-hmm. I'm like, Willow, you had an out, and you didn't take it.
Yeah.
I'm gonna tie in... for villain of the week, I'm also gonna tie in pretty much a lot of the Quartermain family, just because I'm like... Y'all are just coming at Lois and just not thinking. Y'all are just two in your feelings, which is fair, but you're also not, which is why I'm like slightly. It's like you're getting a 0.5 on the villain scale, because it's like y'all are coming so hard at Lois, which again, I understand. She kept this massive secret, but you also got to think about it. There's actual proper logic to her thinking. Sure, when Gloria presented the idea of Camilla being the adoptive parent, logic went out the window on that. That was totally emotional. You know, not telling Gio about his parents after Camilla died, that was a logical reason. Having Sonny, you know, help Gio with his education, that was both an emotional and logical reason.
Yeah, but...
So it's like...
Logic, doing something because it's logical does not necessarily make it the right thing to do. I'm not saying that Lois did the wrong thing. I'm not saying that either. But I'm just saying.
I'm like... Right. I agree. I'm just saying there's also like... Y'all are coming at real hard on Lois. In
you
some...
think so?
Just a little bit. Y'all coming real hard. Especially Olivia. It's like...
Olivia came hard.
Y'all came hard. Ned and Sonny, they didn't come as hard, they were more open to hearing, especially Sonny was more open to hearing what Lois had to say. And Ned was good.
To be fair, I mean, Olivia looked so mashy by the time Sonny got to her. Lois, not Olivia.
Yeah, Ned was also open until it got to the second half. But for the most part, oof. Even, like, I kind of even have to give it to Brooklyn a little bit for villain. I'm like, again,
nope.
No.
Go on.
Like,
I'm just saying, I don't agree with you. Go ahead.
Brooklyn, her anger and fury are so justified. I do not blame her on that one. But there's just, I'm just like, and I get her emotions talking. I really understand that. But for her to be like, I want to stay away from me and my son. I don't want you in my life, and you should have told me, or at least told G. Like, there's just so many things. I'm like, I get your emotions, but calmate.
No, see,
no, I'm like, wait, I'm like, give it time, because there's gonna be a point where you're gonna like, oh, I wish I didn't say that.
That is true.
That's definitely
but
heat of the moment.
I so fundamentally disagree with you, because I think Lois had many opportunities to now come clean. Once Brooklyn said, I told Chase what happened, and then, we're thinking about looking for my son.
I agree on that one, but Brooklyn didn't bring that up.
No, but from the time that door opened, I think Lois should have been like, listen, I need to tell you something. Or even, because again, plenty of opportunities. Hey, Ma, what adoption agency did you use?
My one, I'm like, yeah, there's the adoption agency. She told Chase. For me, the perfect opportunity.
Gloria was in town?
I was going to say the perfect opportunity was when Brooklyn found out that Gloria knew. Because at least then, the fire's on both of you, because she was mad at her grandma too. So at least all three of you dealing with this fire at one time.
Yep.
Just kill two birds with one stone.
Absolutely.
So
and Brooklyn may have chosen to keep her mouth shut at that point, realize that she was in the same house as the son, and it's like, because the reasons are still good. If my son, because all she wanted to know is, my son happy? What is he doing with his life? Your son is Gio. Your two questions are answered. At that point, do you wish to tell him? Do you want to keep it from him? Because now you know with certainty he has no idea he's adopted. Right? Because that was one thing she always said. He may not know he's adopted. It's not my place to go in and blah, blah, blah. But if he comes looking for me,
right,
then great. So now you know who your son is. You know he was happy and loved. You know he has no idea he's adopted. That's
the other thing I think people need to keep in mind, especially Brooklyn, because she's like, happy and loved, or I don't want to go in and disrupt his life. It's like, you would have done that if your mom told you.
I don't think she would have.
Oh wait, sorry, no, I'm switching the rules. I'm switching it if she had told you. Never mind.
Oh,
never mind.
Yeah. The other thing that Brooklyn said that I thought was right on point, and maybe it's to make it sassy, but it wasn't intended that way, was when Lois showed up at the house, and Brooklyn, number one, told her, I don't have the capacity to manage your feelings, so just back off. She also said, because Lois is like, we gotta find Gio. She says, no. I am giving him the courtesy of respecting the fact that he asked for space and time, which is not something you're allowing me. And you would think that Lois would pick up and leave, because there's no question Brooklyn is beyond furious. But no, it's still pursuing the conversation. I don't remember which of the two continued it, but it's like, that's exit stage left.
Right. The other thing was the fact that it's like, the fact that you said we have to go find Gio. It's like, he's a grown adult right now. Like, I'm kind of like with the Dante thing. It's like, you've been babying him. That I don't know about, but right now you needing to go find Gio, make sure he's okay, is kind of babying him. It's like, give him space to process this. He's going through an identity crisis now. You can't.
I love how quickly you picked up the term that they threw out in there. I'm like, identity crisis? Might be a bit of a stretch, but okay.
Well, it kind of is. I mean, he knows he knows he technically was a Cerulo because of Camilla, but he didn't know that he was a quartermain, and now he's finding out that his mom wasn't his mom, and his dad is actually the person who has revealed he doesn't like. Yes. So technically, yeah, it's an identity crisis. Whenever you find out you're adopted, it's kind of an identity crisis because you're like, who am I? These are not my parents. These are not the people who I believe them to be.
I will concede the point.
So adoption.
I will concede the point, but as we've been saying, okay, yes, this is his family, barring the Quartermains. He's known them all his life. So, okay, maybe his position in that relationship changes because now he's grandson instead of nephew or cousin or whatever. But I don't know. We'll see how it plays out. I understand the reaction sur le coup, like in the heat of the moment. If he persists in that, I think it'll be a bit much. I think it'll be a bit much. But anyhow.
Finally, Hero of the Week, I give it to Tracy, Sunny, and Chase.
All right.
Sunny for, while being upset, still being understanding. Mm-hmm. Tracy for, just words of wisdom, especially when she said, I want you two to remember you have a son now and he's okay and all that. Mm-hmm. That I liked. And then Chase just finally showing up for his wife because I'm like, where have you been? It's like everyone, I get you.
But didn't somebody tell him to stand back?
Yes.
Yeah.
But look for them, which I'm surprised he didn't just go home right after because he didn't know where they were. So it's like, where have you been this entire time? So just the fact that Chase finally showed up and was like, Brooklyn, you good? So, yeah.
Yeah. Oh, you know what? I'm also going to give a very tiny kudos to Lucy Coe for not ending up in her underwear this year.
Oh, I'm also going to give Hero of the Week to Emma.
Yes.
For just obvious reasons.
Yes, I meant to say that.
Obvious reasons Emma gets Hero of the Week because you are being a good friend. She's like, and what I really like is when they were on the bridge and Gio's like, you can go, I'm okay. And she's like, I'm not leaving you. I want to make sure you're okay. And Gio lashed out at her. And then he quickly realized, he's like, oh, I'm sorry. It's like, you were the only one who's been, here and understanding and not, pushing me to do anything. And she's like, no, I get it. It's like, he's like, I don't need a babysitter. She's like, no, you are going through something right now. It's not that I'm trying to babysit you. It's that I'm I'm just here if you need to talk or just need me, whatever reason, I'm just here for you and make sure you're okay. It's like, we don't have to go back to the Quartermains. We don't have to go back to, we can go anywhere you want, but I'm staying with you.
Yeah. You
ain't got a choice in that. So.
And I wonder if that's a woman thing versus a man thing. I'd be very curious. Maybe I'll ask my male friends that. Because I do find, I've done it myself, and I've had friends do it for me, where it's like, clearly you're going through something, clearly you don't want to talk about it, but you don't have to go through it by yourself. So I'll sit here, I'll be in the environs while you sort it out, and if you need, you don't even have to pick up the phone because I'm already here. Just so you don't, because when you're going through something like that, I think it's worse when you feel that you're going through it alone. Yep. Even if I can't understand or I've never been in the situation, I can just be there to be an ear if you want it. If you want to cry, I can add my tears to yours. You want to laugh, I can give you reasons to laugh. Or we can just look at each other and start cracking up.
If you want me to say what you want to hear, tell me. I'll tell you. I'll say what you want to hear. Yeah. If you want me to give you my thoughts and opinions, I'll give you my thoughts and opinions. If you don't want advice, I won't give you advice.
Yeah.
But I will be here.
Absolutely. So that was a lot. That was a lot of emotional baggage. Probably 6 hours and 4 minutes. But anyways, so we'll wrap it up for this week.
Yeah.
All right. Well, thanks for hanging with us, ladies and gents. It was a full week. I say bring your tissue next week.
Yeah.
At least when you're watching the show, not necessarily to the podcast. And we'll be back next week with a little more soaps.
I wouldn't say hell of a lot of sass in terms of the custody, but some emotional moments. I can't even say sass.
Well, you know what? The sass don't have to be in the show. We can bring the sass right here on the podcast. All right. Have a great week, y'all.
Bye.
Bye.